I present to you Houston's very own and the reigning and defending WBC middleweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Houston's own Jermall Charlo. Jermall, how you feeling?
I'm bouncing back, you know. First off, thank God for, you know, keeping me and Montiel safe. Two warriors going at it, all 12 rounds. And they had a game plan to fight, and that's what they came out to do, and we came out to defend our title, and that's what we did.
All right, if we got questions for Jermall Charlo. By the way, Jermall, thank you for that entertaining fight.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, what a fight.
Yeah, man.
You treated us to something special tonight.
I appreciate it, man. I just put in a lot of hard work with my trainers, Ronnie Shields, Dominic Gwynn, Creed Fountain, Edward Jackson. We work non-stop, man. Everybody, man. Everybody in my camp, Steve Chamba, y'all know who y'all is. Brian, thank y'all, man. Thank each and every one of y'all, man. Every day we get up and we work, we grind. We kept it professional, you know. I'm on schedule every hour on the hour. Jermall Charlo is doing what Jermall Charlo is supposed to do. And then I got time for my babies, and I got time for my kids, and I got time for my wife, and talk to my mom, and my brother, and everything. My whole soul is just, it's a dream come true.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Juan Montiel. Juan. Palabras.
Juan, las primeras declaraciones.
Muchas gracias por el apoyo. Pues dejé todo en el ring. Yo ocupaba pasar por esto para llegar a este nivel. Creo que di el brinco y espero seguir teniendo buenas oportunidades.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for having me today. I think I made a quality leap today, and I hope to keep having these opportunities, and I appreciate you all for being here.
If you have questions for Juan Montiel, I found it to be symbolic that Jermall Charlo said he will one day be a world champion. That says a lot.
Does it surprise you that he tried to take you into deep waters and he thought you were going to fold because he kept that pressure up like he said he was, but it's like he was surprised that you were still there?
Nah, man. That dude didn't know nothing about deep waters. I was in that fight. He just made some elegant adjustments, and that's what I like to call it. Like, the best boxers in the world, they make the best adjustments. And my trainer, Ronnie Shields, told me, dude made some adjustments, and you made adjustments back, and that's how you got the victory. He was coming to win the WBC championship. So we got to think this is a warrior. He was a true warrior tonight. I'll take nothing away from Montiel. He's a great fighter. Awesome game plan. Very, very awkward. I mean, this happened from ahead, but y'all couldn't tell. But I remember it like it was yesterday. You know, like it was just a couple hours ago. I remember
what round was that?
When I leaned it in.
What round did that happen?
Probably like in the, I was going to say 7th or 8th round. But it didn't affect me to the point where I couldn't keep going, you know. Like I dug deep. He dug deep. we had a fight, you know. It was a fight broke out tonight.
We were able to see the effectiveness of your uppercuts, particularly in the 8th when you saw you had Charlo stumble on that uppercut. How do you think you could have been more effective in terms of using that, seeing that it was a weapon that you had that worked?
Bueno, pudimos ver la efectividad de tus uppercuts, lo que lastimó a Charlo, pero ahora, ¿cómo sentís que pudiste haber sido quizás todavía más letal con ese uppercut para ganar en esta pelea? ¿Qué te faltó?
Pues creo que dejé todo en el ring, no creo que me haya faltado. Pues es un gran peleador, es el número 1.
Well, I really didn't think that I was missing anything per se. He's number 1 for a reason. He's a great fighter, and I left it all out there.
Voy a aprender mucho, esta pelea me va a llevar al otro nivel. Y espero, necesitaba estas peleas y espero volver a enfrentar a los números 1 y ser campeón del mundo.
I feel like I reached another level after this fight, and I hope to fight more number 1s in the future and become a world champion myself in a moment to come.
Said you went through a little adversity in the 8th round. Seemed like he buzzed you midway in the 8th round.
I never got buzzed though. Stop that. I didn't get buzzed. I just got a little, like, I had to make adjustments. I had to, you know what I'm saying, keep getting class in the head. Like I had to sit back. I was headed in too far, and I was over my leg and my right leg. I was a little bit over it. I made my adjustments. I sat back a little bit, started shooting the jab, and we finished the fight. Like, you don't have to knock everybody out to make the best, the best fights. You know, I don't have to be a knockout. If I knocked them out, then they wouldn't have gave me credit. They're like, oh, you fought somebody. you know. But I had a warrior there tonight, and I appreciate him fighting me with everything he got. He challenged me. I stood up to the challenge.
And my final question, by surviving this challenge, going on to the next one.
Jermall in the past has found difficulty fighting southpaws. Is that why you fought much of the fight as a southpaw?
Bueno, a Jermall le cuesta históricamente pelear contra peleadores de pose zurda. ¿Es por eso que vos tomaste quizás esa pose de zurdo más frecuentemente?
Lo vengo haciendo desde que empecé en esto. Pues fue parte de estrategia y eso, pero no me enfoqué en eso. Pues porque así es mi estilo.
That's just my style. It's something that I've been doing throughout my career. Yes, maybe I focused a little bit more in this fight on it, but it's not something that's foreign to me in the least.
Juan, Stephen Pagano, KOR Sports. It seemed like there was a couple of times where Jermall hurt you. Was there a moment in those moments did you feel like you were surviving, or how hurt were you in those moments?
Bueno, cuando Charlo parecía que te lastimaba, ¿sentías que estabas sobreviviendo en ese momento, manteniéndote a flote, tratando de pasar el round?
Pues sí, hubo un momento ahí que pues me lastimó y traté de sobrevivir. Pues gracias a Dios logré pasar ese bache.
Well, you know, I was trying to survive during that time, and thank God I was able to get through it and continue on with the fight.
And also, I want to say it was the 8th round. I think it seemed like you kind of hurt him. His eyes started swelling up a little bit. Did you feel that you hurt him in that moment? And how close did you think you were to possibly finishing the fight?
Y bueno, en el 8º round, vos lo lastimaste a él. ¿Cómo te sentiste en ese momento? ¿Cómo te sentiste cerca de quizás poder terminar con la pelea en ese momento?
Sí, claro, sentí. Pues vi una gran oportunidad. Pues como todo, pues como es el número 1, supo sobrevivir. Y pues voy a seguir luchando por ese número.
Well, yes, I definitely saw that opportunity to come out with the win possibly at that moment, but he's number 1 for a reason, and he was able to pull through and survive. But I hope to be number 1 someday as well and prove myself like he had today.
Maul, early in the fight, obviously he looked like he was in there to survive, right? He was doing different tactics and stuff, but at what point in the fight did he earn your respect?
What?
In the sense, so
he did good in the beginning, and he did good in the end. I made the adjustments in the beginning of pressing because I seen him like sitting back. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him, boom, boom, boom. Got him hurt, boom. Winning rounds, I was doing great. You know, and then he made adjustments. He stayed in the southpaw stance a little bit more. He switched instantly, and then we get to going. Then he switched back, and then he throw wild hooks. And I'm blocking. I said, I'm gonna get closer. I stay in the pocket, pocket press him, and I pocket pressed him, landed some body shots, and I honestly felt good. Honestly, I could have boxed like 5 more rounds or whatnot, but I mean, hey. He's a tough fighter, tough competitor.
I just asked him how did he survive all that power with someone like Charlo who's known for all his knockouts.
Y sobreviví gracias a mi hambre, a mi preparación, a mi condición y al hambre de mi sueño de ser campeón del mundo. Quería ganar, iba dispuesto a todo, morir en la raya.
It was my hunger to be a world champion that allowed me to survive. My determination to pull through in this fight and become a world champion is what got me through this and what's going to get me through so many other things in the future.
Coach Ronnie Shields, real quick, what were you telling Jermall in the corner? And it seemed like when Jermall was getting some pressure toward him, it's almost as if he went and he's like, okay, let me get back on that jab. Was that one of the instructions you told him?
Absolutely. I think that after Jermall hurt him, then the kid, he came back. Look, the kid was in great shape, and we all seen that. And so I thought it was best that we just get back and start boxing. And I thought that Jermall kept making him run into stuff, and it was hitting him and hurting him. But look, this kid was determined. He was determined to win. And the people complaining about, you don't fight this person or you don't fight that person. But look, the kid was ranked number 4 in the world for a reason, and he showed everybody that he wanted to win this world championship. And he put up a hell of a fight, but Jermall was better tonight.
Juan, I know you're disappointed you lost the fight, but do you feel like your stock rose? And do you feel like you have the respect of the fans after tonight?
Bueno, sé que estás decepcionado por haber perdido esta pelea, pero ¿sentís que tu valor, tus acciones boxísticas subieron después de esta pelea y cómo te sentís a futuro.
Sí, sentí que pues tenía que pasar por esto para llegar a este nivel. Creo que estoy dentro de este nivel ya de las grandes ligas. Así me hicieron sentir el público, la gente, y venga, quiero ser campeón del mundo.
I felt like I had to go through this to prove myself, to show that I belong in the major leagues of boxing. And now that I have, I'm ready for whatever comes next.
You know, those mid rounds, you really hit him with a lot of shots. It seemed like the ref was kind of close to maybe stopping it a couple times. Were you surprised that he was able to withstand that barrage of punches in the middle rounds?
No, the ref did a beautiful job of letting us fight. I never complain about the referee. I think their jobs are very, very hard, and they do an awesome job of making sure the fighters stay safe, and that's what all I wanted. I thought maybe at a point in time he was out on his feet real bad and probably could damage him. Like if you know, if I kept going, but the round ended, and that's what happened in boxing. You got 3 minutes to fight. Like I said, I made the best adjustments I could make. You know, and after that, man, I'm just happy about that.
He proved that he deserves to be at this level, proved that he deserves to, you know, be talked about with the best middleweights. Where would he like to go from here? What would he like to be next for him?
Creo que pues sigue un descanso, pasar tiempo con mi familia. Estuve 3 meses fuera.
First of all, what's coming up is rest. I want to spend time with my family. I've been away for 3 months. That's my priority right now.
Y después pues volver al gimnasio y espero que mi promotor Samson me dé otra oportunidad de ser el número 1 nuevamente.
And then it's back to the gym, and I hope my promoter Samson is going to allow me to have the chance to be number 1 and at least attempt to do so in the future.
Do you think you sent that message to 160? It's going to take a bad man to get that belt off your shoulder?
I mean, y'all seen the hard fight tonight. It's obvious that, you know, I'm here to fight and I'm not dodging nobody or ducking from nobody or whatever they want to call it. Like, I'm a fighter, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to fight. I'm here to take care of my family. Should I see my babies out there yelling for me when they was having fun? Everybody had a good night tonight.
Austin, let's be real, man. Did Jermall Charlo look vulnerable tonight?
He did look vulnerable. The defense, he was a little bit lacking, but again, it looked like an off night. And I think we can credit that to Montiel's awkward style. I mean, at first he was just moving defensive, playing defense, not doing much offense, and then later on he started all offense. And I think Maul didn't activate his defense for that middle round.
Maul was spitting up blood in the corner, man, and you know, we know Montiel could punch, but I think I underestimated Montiel. You know, I didn't think he was going to be that durable.
Honestly, I did not think he was going to be that durable at all. But I also didn't think that Jermall Charlo had that kind of chin, because he took some clean shots from Montiel, and he didn't seem to really phase or buzz him.
Austin, did you in the 8th round? Montiel caught him with the uppercut. Do you think Charlo was a little staggered in that 8th?
I absolutely do believe he got a little bit staggered in that with that uppercut. You know, I've watched Charlo fight. I had to fight him, so I studied him very well, and I've never seen him lose footing like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was hurt, weathered the storm, was able to come back and get that win. Those are the answers that a lot of fighters haven't been able to answer yet.
Last question. For the fact that Maul did look a little vulnerable tonight, you think that'll make some of these other champions want to get in the ring with him?
Absolutely. I think now Canelo say, oh, okay, I'll take that fight. Right. Or maybe Triple G will bring it up so that way we can get that kind of build-up fight, you know?
What would be the difference in a Jermall Triple G fight? You think Maul's reflexes, his activity, jab?
The thing about Jermall is I think he fights up to his competition.
That's right, he said that.
And Montiel, no shade to him, he comes from a boxing family, 22 wins, 22 KOs, but that's not the fight that I think Maul was going to get up for. A Triple G fight is a name fight that he will definitely rise to the occasion to see. Even a Canelo fight, you'll see a different Jermall Charlo.
So, my dog, what did you make of this fight?
I think it was great, man. I think that he was very cunning and conniving. I think his goal was to probably got to get Jermall to punch himself out. But Jermall was in phenomenal shape and it didn't work. So it was good. It was a good fight. I think that he needed something like this. It was a fight. And that guy would do the same thing to anybody else.
Do you think to some extent a lot of us underestimated him in his heart, that Montiel that is?
Right, and listen, I think they underestimated Montiel, and I think they underestimated Jermall Charlo also. I think that Jermall Charlo proved who he was and what his abilities were tonight.
You know, we saw Maul, he was spitting up blood in the corner. You know, obviously when he got in some type of trouble, he got back on his jab, he was able to do what he does. But do you think to some extent he looked vulnerable tonight?
I think that he's the fighter, man. He's the warrior. I mean, everybody's vulnerable as they get out on the field, they get in the ring. I think that he showed his abilities and that his fortitude to be able. If you say he looked vulnerable, okay, everybody does at some point, especially later in the fight. But he showed the ability to endure and the fortitude to keep it going, man. And he showed who he really was tonight.
After tonight, what do you think the other middleweights at 160 are thinking? Andre, Triple G, you think they'll be able to step in the ring with Charlo now?
You said it again, I missed it.
Basically, Triple G. You think Triple G, after seeing this fight tonight, would want to step in there with Charlo?
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. We'll see though.
What did you make of the Montiel Charlo fight tonight?
I thought, you know, for a fight that was dominated by Charlo, to me that was an entertaining fight. You know, I think there's two things I come away with. Number one, when you have two guys who are in great condition, but two, I think what we sometimes overlook in this sport, self-belief. People were like, oh yeah, Montiel probably get blown out of there. He said all week long, I believe I'm gonna win this fight. And I think you saw that spirit in there, because he took some shots and returned shots, but yet stayed in there when there were a number of guys who could have went down.
What allowed Montiel to stay in the fight? Obviously, he was parrying shots. When he got hurt in the 4th and 5th, he did just enough to survive.
Yeah, you know, there were a couple times, and I think in the broadcast where guys were like, oh, he's on the ring, he's on the ropes, and he's putting himself in danger. But I think he was kind of baiting Charlo. He got hurt, but you could see he was slipping shots and moving, and it was almost like I'm trying to bait him to come in there, maybe try to catch him. I think he did a really good job.
His stock definitely rose, Montiel that is. And so, you know, Charlo was spitting up blood in the corner, man. Did you think he looked vulnerable tonight?
Well, I don't think he looked vulnerable at all. I just think that, again, sometimes we don't give credit to the other guy. And then really, I think you got to give Montiel credit. Hey, Charlo put on a masterful performance. I mean, he threw everything in the kitchen sink at him. If you look at the combinations, the uppercuts, I mean, there was a guy in there who believed he should win this fight. And you even heard Charlo say after the fight, the guy was a warrior. And Montiel said, I needed this because I believe I'm going to be world champion. You got that self-belief, I mean, you can go a long way in this sport, especially the conditioning.
What do you think the other champions at 160 thought about this fight? And you think that after tonight, they're going to be willing to step in the ring with Charlo now?
Well, I think, you know, you have a guy like Demetrius Andre who's already kind of reached out to me on social media about it. Yeah, I would love, and I think Jermall would love to see Golovkin and love to see Demetrius Andre in the ring with him. I think if you're Andre, you're probably looking at it like, okay, who's this guy? He fought. Yeah, I need to be in the ring with him, guy. But now you got to put the politics aside and get the deal done.
Styles make fights, man. How do you see that Triple G Charlo fight going down if it happens?
Bro, absolutely. You got two guys who are gonna come forward and gonna fight. I think it would be great for the sport of boxing. I hope that Gennadi's people saw this and said, let's make this happen. And you know, I know he's supposed to fight at the end of the year, but it's got to happen soon.